So, Nathaniel, did you know that Donald Trump said that the security of our nation's at stake?
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna see people in court. Oh, God. It's probably about how Nintendo hasn't released Mother 3 yet. It's probably about that.
Oh, my God.
Okay, so if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, apparently Donald Trump is going to see, I don't even know who it is. I'm guessing someone about his ban. I don't know. I'm not going to get too political. I just thought this tweet was funny because he tweeted in all caps this week, "See you in court. The security of our nation is at stake." And I had a lot of fun with this. And I'm glad a lot of people had fun with me on Twitter because I tweeted, one tweet I had was like, "Release Super Mario Odyssey early. The security of our nation's at stake." Another one was like, "Release Mother 3 from its prison. The security of our nation's at stake." Nathaniel, tell us about your Switch preview. The security of our nation's at stake.
Oh, geez. I just have to say real quick, I absolutely love Donald Trump's Twitter account. It's so funny, just the way that he words everything. Like, he'll say something serious, and then there's always a one-liner word with an exclamation point at the end.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, and it's two sentences that do not go together at all. It's kind of like a elementary school kid when they're trying to write like a short form story and they just can't link sentences together at all. That's what Donald Trump's Twitter account is like.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I'm by the way, I guess we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Jacob. I am your host, and here is my guest, who's not really a guest. He's always on here. It's Nathaniel Bandy.
Hi. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, he's real excited. He went to Washington, D.C., the capital of our nation, where apparently we have basically the equivalent of Bowser sitting on a throne currently. And yeah, he went to a Switch preview event. So mainly this episode is going to be about that. Our other normal caster is not here today, Scott Lee. He is sick, and he's got some stuff coming out of his nose. I'm not going to talk too much about that in case we have people who are queasy. And yeah, he's not going to be on the cast today, unfortunately. So it's just us two. We're rocking it old school. And yeah.
The good old Our Podcast is Ready days. That's what this is going to be like.
Yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun cast. I'm glad we continued to do stuff.
Absolutely. So I guess let's get started on the Switch. So first off, I did bring my friend Carl. It was his first time going to DC, which is amazing because he lives very close to DC. He had never seen the White House. So after the Switch event, he was like, "Hey, I want to see the White House." So he saw it in person for the first time. That has nothing to do with the Switch. But anyway, just thought I'd announce that if you live close to DC, go visit DC. Just saying. So
yeah, it's not going to be there much longer, guys.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so about the Switch itself, what do you want me to start with? Just like general discussion, just like what the Joy-Cons are like and all that stuff?
I watched some of your video that you did with Carl on your channel, and I thought it was interesting. You talked about how the Joy-Cons are incredibly uncomfortable. You pretty much summed up what I initially thought was going to be true. So yeah, I guess let's hear your thoughts about the Joy-Cons, because I'm ready for it.
Yeah, so for anyone that's seen that video already, I do think me and Carl we were kind of over-exaggerating how bad the Joy-Cons are. I mean, in general, if you're just using like the charging grip, or if you're playing them with the straps on just vertically, they're really not that bad. But these controllers are just like so tiny. Like, think of the Game Boy Micro. Remember how tiny that thing is? That's basically a whole Joy-Con controller. It's kind of like holding a Game Boy Micro vertically, except a little bit taller, maybe a little bit thicker. So
it's that small?
It's pretty tiny. I have a feeling that
it looks so much bigger.
I know. What's funny is that actually the dock and the tablet are so much smaller than they look. Like, they look really big in the videos and stuff, but no, they're like really, really tiny. And that's one thing I really, really love about the Switch so far is that tablet. First off, that screen is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what they did with the pixels, but they are so vibrant and bright. I love that touch, the screen on the tablet. The dock is really small, so bringing this thing to friend's house is going to be so easy. Like, it'll be a lot easier than carrying around a hunk of a PS4 or an Xbox One. Like, you can slip this thing basically in your back pocket. Well,
I wish I had friends around here.
Well, if you have friends, then yes, you can bring it to your friend's house very easily.
If you're not a stumpy loser like me.
Now,
so would you say that it's comparable to like a 7 or 8 inch tablet, or is it a little bit bigger than that?
I'm pretty sure the exact size is a 6.2 inch tablet, and that might sound small.
Really?
It might sound
Wow.
pretty small. Just kind of think, you know the size of the gamepad? It's basically a little bit bigger than that. But the whole thing, like, there's no like outer rim, of course. You know, it's just you put in the controllers, and I mean, aside from that, the rest of it's just pure screen. You can see everything. So like,
Yeah.
it really works out. And another thing, I wasn't supposed to do this because they were very, very strict about how we use the Switch, but I did undo one of the Joy-Con controllers from the tablet and plugged it back in. And yes, it does make a clicky sound. And it sounds very good.
You're not supposed to know that yet, Nathaniel. We're gonna get the cast. Oh god, cast is shut down.
Oh, man. But yeah, the clicky sound, I like it. It feels really nice clicking it into the tablet. Oh, it's so good. And
Is it the snap sound like on that we're hearing on commercials, like that really satisfying? Well, that
It's
sounded
not-
really bad. That wasn't satisfying at all. That was terrifying, probably.
it's not quite that loud. I mean, it's very distinct. You will kind of recognize it when you do switch it on and whatever, when you switch it into the console for the first time, be like, yeah, this is the Switch. Let's do this. I'm taking it out on the go, whatever. But yeah, that generally, that's what the console is like. I don't know if that made any sense. Joy-Cons, they're okay.
I just
but-
pictured like a 50s style commercial of you taking the Joy-Cons and like sliding it into the side of the Switch, and you just turn to the camera with like a big cheesy smile on your face and like, this is the Switch, and like open your mouth really loud.
Someone needs to do that. That would be really funny. Funny parody.
Yeah, see, that would be a lot funnier visualized rather than just my dopey mouth saying it over this Darksiders gameplay. So picture that. Picture that with me, and then you'll be like, wow, Jacob's actually a funny guy instead of just an idiot. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, cool. It sound like the size of it sounds good. I'm happy with the size of that. I always liked the size of the gamepad. It was a little big, just slightly too big, but I'm glad the Switch screen size is roughly the same as that, and it sounds like the actual console is smaller. It looks sleeker.
And it's not very heavy. It's not very heavy. I was able to kind of test the weight. I held it with one hand for like 30 seconds. It's not heavy at all. I mean, there is a little bit of weight to it, but it's good to have a little bit of weight to the tablet itself. So kind of picture, I don't know, like one of the newer iPads. It kind of feels like that, except scrunched together in terms of weight. I don't know how else to describe it. It feels really, really good. It's nice and solid.
Does it feel cheap?
No, it does not feel cheap at all. And that's one great thing
Thank
about the
you,
Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons overall are very, very high quality.
That's good because they're
So-
expensive.
They are. Now, unfortunately, the side buttons, they work. They work perfectly fine. But actually using them for games is a problem. And that, I mean,
Oh, I
overall,
bet.
that was my biggest issue with the Joy-Cons, is when you're using them sideways. Like playing vertically or with a charging grip, okay, they work. But sideways, it is as bad as it looks. It's as bad as it sounds. Don't do it.
Yeah, because during that demonstration when they're talking about how it's so comfortable playing the Switch, and this guy was cramping it, like you could tell he was cramping his hands trying to squeeze those SL and SR buttons, and I'm like, that doesn't look comfortable. You're not selling me on that.
You know, it was really funny. I think I have a more negative impact on the Joy-Cons because almost all of the stations, maybe like 70% of the stations, made us use those freaking Joy-Cons sideways. I don't know why they did that. That
I
might
bet they
have,
they probably Nintendo'd that event pretty hard.
Yeah, that was a very Nintendo moment. I don't know why we couldn't choose how to play. They wanted us to try all the different styles. I understand, but why did we have to use the controllers mostly sideways? I don't understand that. But I do
Don't
have
worry,
to say,
with every purchase of a Switch, they will assign a Japanese representative of Nintendo to come to your house and force you to play with the Joy-Con sideways. Don't
great.
worry, that'll happen.
But I do have to say, though, when you add that wrist strap with that extra grip, it does make using the controller sideways much better. But without that
does?
wrist strap, yeah, it makes it a little bit better because
Awesome.
it's a bit wider. So if you're going to play sideways, always have that thing on no matter what. But I'll tell you what, when I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe without that wrist strap, when we had to use it sideways, I was jumping with the shoulder button on the right side and using items with the left, my hand cramped within literally 2 minutes. And that is it's not really a big problem because I'm not going to play Mario Kart that way, but the fact that the Joy-Cons aren't big enough to be able to avoid cramping is kind of an issue.
This is a really random question, and you may not know this. I don't know if this has been confirmed yet or not. Do they give you those little straps in the box, like with the Switch?
Yes, they do. You will have the straps.
Oh, that is awesome. Yes. That's one of the best things I've heard about the Switch so far. Oh, yes. Because I totally agree with you. I haven't played it yet myself. But damn, that looked so uncomfortable and just pointy. It kind of reminded me of the NES controller, like when you're like trying to grip around the edges. Like it looked like it would dig into your hands and hurt unless you had those straps on. So that, that's good. I'm so happy to hear about that.
What was weird is that when I did have to play it sideways, even with the wrist strap attachment or whatever, the shoulder buttons, whether with the right Joy-Con or the left Joy-Con, always seemed to interfere with my hand, and it didn't really meld well with my hand. So I know that's not really something that they can control, but I just don't understand why they had to add the shoulder buttons. Like, it's really cool technology, but it just doesn't seem necessary, if you ask me.
Okay.
So,
I guess, let's not be all doom and gloom. How'd you feel about the Pro Controller?
The Pro Controller, you got to get this thing. It's worth the $70. That thing is damn amazing. The buttons all feel really, really crystal smooth, even though that doesn't make sense. They feel crystal smooth, okay?
Crystal smooth.
Crystal smooth. The joysticks feel very, very responsive. There's a lot of free movement, or I don't know how else to...
I hope that's in the, whatever you call it, like the trailer for whenever they have the media just blowing up about the Switch. Like, I just hope it says crystal smooth and dash Nathaniel Bandy.
That would be nice. I hope so too.
There's like a dedicated Pro Controller advertisement that's going to play in like the NBA Finals or something, and it's going to say that.
Yeah, and people have been complaining about the $70 price tag, but this Pro Controller has 40-hour battery life. The gyroscope works beautifully. I played Splatoon 2 with the Pro Controller. I'll talk about that more later. Works absolutely wonderfully. It can read Amiibo. It's got an accelerometer too. Pro Controller is absolutely worth $70. I'm pretty sure that like everybody is going to want one, because I think the Joy-Cons will work for people that have smaller hands, but if you have really big hands like I do, you're going to want a Pro Controller. Like, it's going to almost be a necessity.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't afford it, there's always, probably a plasma center you can just sell your plasma to and get the money for it.
Yep, and you can afford
there's
it
ways.
that way.
There's stripping. There's selling your organs. There's a lot of ways to make money. You can definitely get a Pro Controller. I'm sure you can get at least $40 for a kidney.
Hey, maybe 50. You never know.
Maybe 50. I mean, if you're willing to go black market, you can probably get 50 out of it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, or you could take up drug dealing. That's a pretty solid investment.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I may do that. I've been mulling it over in my head. I may do it, I may not. I'm debating if I want to deal in meth or coke. Those are the ones that make a lot of money. Weed's going out, man. I need to sell that coke.
I think you should do a bit of both. You should do both, man. Get into both markets.
Oh, I should do them now? Yeah, I could do them now.
Yeah, I do them and sell them both. Yes.
That'd be great. Or heroin.
Ooh, yeah.
Heroin. Yeah. Let's Requiem for a Dream this bitch. This is going places. So what were we talking about again? I don't even remember.
Well, okay, I guess I'm just going to kind of sum up the Switch console itself. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Love the tablet, love the Pro Controller, love the dock. Joy-Cons, they're not bad. They're not great for everything, but they will work. You will be able to use them, aside from playing sideways, which you probably won't need to do. I'd like to move on to the first game we played. Now, since we were technically media press, we were lucky enough to play Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild first. And I have to say, there was a 20-minute demo, and it just was not enough time to play it because, I mean, you were forced to watch 5 minutes of cutscenes, so you had to sit through that. But when you start playing, oh my god, you feel goosebumps while you're playing because it's so cool how the game starts off because within the first 5 minutes, there's a cutscene that just kind of shows the whole world, and then the title Breath of the Wild shows up on the bottom right of the screen, and you're just like, oh my god, this is a Zelda game. I can't believe this. And then You start moving around.
I'm just excited about the fact that there's 5 minutes of cutscenes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the beginning had a lot of cutscenes, but thankfully you can skip them. I was able to skip more of them as the demo moved on. But,
yeah, if I was just playing a demo, I'd probably skip them, but then the full game, I'm gonna sit down and enjoy those, because
absolutely,
that's something I've always wanted Zelda to have more of, is more story and cutscenes, and this sounds like it's gonna have it. So that's a good...
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna have a lot of cutscenes, because I had to skip at least 2 or 3 within the 20 minutes that I played, which was crazy. But yeah, man, like, this game is just, it's going to be absolutely amazing. It looks beautiful. The controls are very, very solid, as you'd expect. Link can run. He can also jump. There are some frame drops, but it doesn't slow down the game. So it's not that big a deal.
That's good. I'm just happy that Link finally learned how to like slightly crouch down with his legs and spring up to thrust his body into the air. That's good. I've always wondered when he was going to learn how to jump.
Now, of course, you can still auto-jump, but you can also just do a normal jump, which is revolutionary for Zelda, I guess.
Link has come a long way. He can finally jump. Oh, this must be what parents feel like when their kids finally walk. Oh, this is a great feeling. I'm so proud of Link.
It only took him 30 years to learn to jump.
My boy did it.
Oh,
he did it.
Woo!
Well, so, like, what do you think about the combat? I guess, like, how does it feel like other Zelda games? I mean, how intensive is it? Because I still haven't watched hardly anything. Like, just aside from like the 2 or 3 official trailers we've gotten, I mean, that's it. That's all I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I won't spoil too much. I'll just kind of talk about the combat itself. It feels very much like Wind Waker. You can lock onto enemies. Fighting enemies is very smooth. It all feels really good. It's actually really cool, because when you're zooming in on an enemy and hit them a few times, the edges of the screen will actually start to blur out so that it's easier to focus on who you're attacking. And I thought that was a really neat touch. Yeah. I didn't even notice that until, I think, killing like the 3rd enemy or something. But I was like, yeah, detail. I like this. This is awesome.
Yeah, it looks like they borrowed from action games a little bit. I've been playing a lot of action games lately, and that's something I always appreciate. So good. That sounds great.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of what else happened in the game, I fell down this big tower and almost died. Went from like 3 hearts to a quarter of a heart.
Always good. Tell me, did you jump into that? Did you jump?
I actually
or did you just fall?
Well, I tried to jump, but then I realized there wasn't ground at the bottom, so I hit the ground, almost died.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's always good. That's a life lesson. That's a life lesson, kids. Like, make sure you look down in a huge.
Yeah, look where you're jumping.
I love how my mind just completely died for like 2 seconds. I didn't. If
fine.
You're thinking my audio cut out, no, that my brain cut out. that's what happened.
It's all good.
I'm glad you stepped in to finish my sentence for me. Thanks.
That's why I'm here, man.
Yeah.
I guess real quick, I want to talk about the running. So there've been a few people. Actually, I only know Carl. Was complaining that the stamina when you're running, it doesn't last for a long enough amount of time. I'm pretty sure you will be able to upgrade your stamina, and on top of that, you're also going to be able to ride some sort of horse. I don't know if it's Epona or not. It might be a different one. And of course, you will be able to fly through the air with, I don't even know what that thing was in his hands, but they showed it off in some of the official trailers. So there's going to be more ways to move around besides just walking and running, which will be faster overall. So
that cloth that he flies down from, that was in Skyward Sword. I don't remember the official name for it.
I don't remember.
So that's interesting to see it back. And then as far as horses go, it looks like you can just steal horses. I don't know if any of them are Epona, but it looks like you can just steal horses from like Bokoblins. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm. There was no horses of any kind. There was only, I think, one type of enemy that I could find. Like, I was just running around trying to explore as much as I could, trying to avoid cutscenes because I just wanted to play as much game as I could. I guess what was interesting during the actual demo itself, once we got about 10 minutes in, the guy took the Joy-Cons from me and plugged them into the tablet because the tablet was in the dock, and he took the tablet out of the dock, and I can confirm the switch between the TV and the tablet is literally like half a second. It is so seamless.
Awesome.
It feels so natural, so seamless. Oh my god, I absolutely loved it. Like, I'm telling you, if you got to go somewhere and you still want to play your game, it will be so easy to do that.
Oh,
It
that's
was
going to be
pretty
so
great.
great when I'm trying to be myself and try to have a good time and leave.
Trying to
Oh, I'm
have a
so
good
excited.
time.
Yeah, be yourself.
They were playing that song in the background.
Oh, I bet they were.
event.
They're going to get so much money, like so much of their money's worth out of buying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much
yeah, good.
all I can say
I'm happy
about
to hear
Zelda.
confirmation on that because all I've seen is just kind of like the well crafted and put together videos of the Switch doing that, but I've never seen that actually happen. So
It
that's
is very, very close to what the speed of the transition is very close to what the trailers show you. It's not instant, but it's almost instant. It's close enough. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't have expected instant. I mean, I would expect like you to pick it up and it to process for like 10 seconds, or you had to push a button or something. But like, that's cool. That's awesome.
And it's so cool because the screen looks so good is that you don't even notice a graphical difference compared to the TV or the tablet. Like the resolution, obviously, it's a bit better on the TV, but it looked almost exactly the same. I couldn't tell the difference graphically, which was really, really cool.
This kind of like springs off a little bit of what we're talking about. I did see a headline about something, and I had to read the article because I couldn't avoid it. I saw a headline saying that Breath of the Wild does take place after Ocarina of Time on the Zelda timeline, so that has me so curious about Majora's Mask tie-in, or if it's going to tie into Wind Waker or Link to the Past. I mean, I'm so curious about that. Like, do you have any indicators of any of that at all?
Not really. If I played the game for a few hours, I could decipher that, but no, we weren't really given any plot at all, aside from what we've already seen in the trailers.
It definitely looks like it takes place right before Wind Waker, about the fall of Hyrule, but that's just what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just what I'm guessing. I mean, and as a Zelda nut, I'm really excited to experience that. But yeah, do you have any more to say on Zelda, or was that kind of it?
I think I just splurged about Zelda for way longer than I ever thought I would. So
that's fine. I'm
That's a good
glad you
thing.
finally come over, and you made a good choice. Another little bit of Zelda news though, real quick, this is just completely random. This is just about like the artist for Ocarina of Time just discussed Ganondorf's design. It was just like a little mini interview for that new Zelda Art and Artifacts book, which I'm definitely getting because I'm a dirty Zelda fanboy and I have to have it. I've had that pre-ordered since like August. I'm so excited for it.
Man.
Basically, when they were designing Ganondorf, this is just some couple quick things I thought were interesting. Let's see. The original head artist said, Ganon is basically a pig, but the humanoid Ganondorf made his first appearance in Ocarina of Time. What was your inspiration when you started designing him? Oh, sorry, that was the interviewer asking that. And then Takezawa said, well, I started thinking to myself, what kind of guy is worth defeating? And then the interview said, so he couldn't just be incredibly strong. And Takezawa said, right, the enemies you feel the best about defeating are the ones that outclass you in every way, from abilities to experience. He also had to be an appealing character, even though he was the enemy, and after a lot of trial and error, I slowly completed his model. Then Nakanono-san took that and improved upon it. Come to think of it, all the illustrations that came from Nakanono-san had very few comments on that one. And then the other guy said hardly any, in fact. However, and then Takezawa said, yeah, I did have one request that I felt strongly about. He initially looked like a brute who had nothing but raw strength. I wanted him to have clever eyes so you knew he was a man of high caliber. So I thought that was cool. Wow. And then there's some more stuff, but I'm not gonna sit here and just continuously read that all. But I just thought it was interesting, just kind of learning more about like the design of initially what Ganondorf was. So I'm because I kind of agree with that. Like, I'm glad they made him someone who was more classy and interesting rather than just like, I have muscles.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have related so much to the player. That makes sense. It makes sense. So yeah, I guess I'll move on to the next game that we played, which was Splatoon DOS. Splatoon 2. So this is the first game.
That was the name.
What's that?
Splatoon DOS.
Splatoon DOS.
Much more fun than Splatoon 2. I'm still upset they're not calling it Splatoon.
I know,
like,
right? It made so much sense.
They literally wrote that. I mean, they prepared that. and they didn't do it.
I know.
Eh.
Besides the weird, not so satisfying name, this was the first game that we played with the Pro Controller, and it was my favorite game there. It was so much fun. Like, if you like the first Splatoon, you will absolutely love the second Splatoon from what I've played. I did try out the dual Splatties, I think that's what they were called. A really cool, great addition. I didn't really try implementing the dodge or dash attack or whatever. Didn't have enough time to really mess with that and use it well. I tried out a lot of the new specials. The new specials are insanely cool. Like, I was riding on a jetpack for one, and then, which actually wasn't that useful. I was just getting sniped while I was in the air. But
okay, it sounds like Boba Fett and Star Wars Battlefront. So,
yeah, similar to that. The other special that I've tried, I used like this huge missile launcher thing. It had like 12 shots, and basically you aimed where players were on the screen, and then you pushed a button, and the missiles auto-locked to where they were as the special, and that was really cool too. One really interesting thing about this game is now that the gamepad is no longer there for you to quick spawn to another player, what you do now is you push a button, and then you aim with the gyro where you want to go. So whichever player on your team you want to go to, you aim to where they are, let go of your button, and that's it. It is just as seamless as it was on the gamepad, which is really cool. And again, this was the game where I was like, yep, the Pro Controller worth the $70 because the gyro works so well with it. Oh, I love Splatoon 2. It was so awesome.
And if you didn't fully hear that, guys, he went, Splatoon! Well, I'm glad that you Splatoon your pants while you were there. That's always good to hear.
I basically did, yes.
Good. I may have to pick this one up. I still never bought Splatoon because I was just kind of like, this is fun, but I mean, I didn't want to pay money for it, just personally. But I may pick this one up, especially because Nintendo seems to be taking online a little more seriously now, so I'm curious.
We did get some info, too, that the local private matches will be a lot easier to play. So now if you want to play locally, it's not just 2-player. You can actually hook up 8 people locally with the Switch, which is really cool.
Sold.
Finally confirmed that.
Sold, buying it. Right, yep. Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yep.
I don't even have a Switch yet. But
you gotta buy Splatoon
why do I have
2
to enter
first.
characters? Why can't I just go to Amazon? What is this? I'm human. Why do I have to do this?
I don't know.
How is that not right? What is this? I know what I typed. Amazon, what are you doing? Okay.
So, that was Splatoon 2. I just convinced Jacob to buy it. So, that's good.
This is completely random, but I did want to say I love the box art for like all the Switch games. And I love the fact that they look like they're in like PSP styled boxes. Love that. Just mwah.
They are. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see an example of an actual box. We did see the box when you'll be buying the Switch, but not like of a Switch game. So I couldn't see like how big it looked or whatever. But still, the box art, you're right, it looks amazing.
Man, I'm really debating on getting Super Bomberman R. That looks fun. And unfortunately, he already confirmed this, and I really wanted to know what this game played like, but he said that Nathaniel said he didn't get to play Super Bomberman R.
No.
It's upsetting. Nintendo shoved 1-2 Switch on him and not Super Bomberman R.
We'll get to 1-2 Switch. That was fun. I guess next I want to kind of talk about is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So I got to try battle mode and the racing. When we played battle mode, we actually had to use that switch wheel, which was kind of annoying. But
yeah, I heard you talk about this in your video. I didn't even know a switch wheel existed.
They do. They cost $20, which I think is way too much. But if you really want a Switch wheel, it does work much better than the Wii wheel ever did, because now there are custom buttons on the back instead of just using that one random button on the back of the Wii wheel or whatever. It's a lot easier to control what you're doing if you like playing that way. But yeah, Switch wheel's better. It's really, really tiny because the Joy-Con is so tiny.
Oh God, it looks so tiny.
It's very, very small.
I'm looking at it now. Oh my God, that's so small.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that this exists, but at the same time, I'm like,
I mean, if you like it, cool. Get the Switch wheel. You'll like it more than the Wii wheel. That's all I can really say about that.
Yeah. I'll be playing with the Pro Controller personally.
Me too.
Personally. Because I have to beat everyone at Mario Kart, and I don't want to take no chances with that Switch wheel.
Mm-hmm. I guess to really quick talk, I'm not going to talk too much about Mario Kart 8 because from what we know so far, it's basically the same game. We did a racetrack of, I think, Neo Bowser City. That's where my hand cramped. I learned about the cramping of my hands. But the battle mode, what was kind of cool, we tried one of the new courses. I forgot what it was called. But what was neat was I was able to get my hands on the new feather item. And I can now confirm that to steal a balloon with the feather item, all you have to do is jump over the player and you just snag it. It feels so good when you just snag a balloon because, like, you won't expect it because you don't know what item they're holding until you get close to them. So it's so fun stealing a balloon with a feather.
Wait, so you're telling me that you can land on a person and take their balloon?
Well, you don't land on them. Basically, you just jump over them. And I think what I saw in the animation was, I forgot I was playing as like the Inkling. Like they reach down underneath them and grab a balloon and attach it to their cart. I think that's the animation that I saw.
That is like the coolest thing.
Think like running into a player with mushrooms, but now you can do the same thing with the feather. And it's so awesome.
What I wish happened is like I wish you jumped over them, and I wish like you just ever so slightly like pulled out like a little pin and just like the whole combat just slowed up and did like this twist around you, and you just like slowly just went pop. It just popped the balloon off. That'd be fantastic.
That would have been really funny too.
Oh, it'd be great. Did you really have like more to say like about Mario Kart? Is that pretty much it? You guys just play battle mode or something?
Yeah, we played battle mode one time, race one time. I guess. Now I haven't gotten my hands on the game itself, but from what I can tell, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is worth purchasing if you never played Mario Kart 8, or if you're a huge Mario Kart fan and really love battle mode. If you've already played a crap ton of Mario Kart 8 and you're starting to get tired of it, I don't think it's worth purchasing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just for battle mode, even though there will be 5 different modes. I mean, from what we know of, there's not going to be any new tracks, but at the same time, if you never played Mario Kart 8, there's like 50 tracks in there plus battle mode. So yeah, I'm going to be getting it, but it's because I kind of have to.
I'm really debating on getting it, but if there's more tracks, I'll definitely be getting it. But if there's not, I don't know, just because I probably won't really play much battle mode unless it's online. And then
I think it's online.
I've 100% Mario Kart 8. Like I have 3 stars on every single track. I've unlocked every single item. I've done everything that I can possibly do, and I kind of don't want to get rid of that because I like seeing all my stars. I'm that vain. I like seeing my 100% completion on that game. I'm that vain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did the same thing except for 200cc. That was just too hard.
Yeah, that took me a long time, but I did it. But I cried for quite a long time after I did it. Basically, after I 100% completed, I was just kind of like, what am I doing with my life?
Okay, so...
And then I picked the controller up and played more.
Oh my gosh.
Margaret, it's so good. So good. I love that game. That's one of my favorite Wii U games, by far. Well,
so I guess next, I'll really quickly talk about...
Switch. 1-2 switch.
I can go to 1-2 switch. Okay, so
switch.
1-2 switch. We got to talk about this. So
did you milk some cows?
I milked some damn cows.
You milked them? Woo!
It was so cool. I actually, when I was playing with Carl, he completely wrecked me. He got 10 cups of milk. I only got 5 cups of milk. Oh my gosh, it was so difficult. Like I couldn't figure out what I was doing. He figured it out, but oh my god.
Sounds like Carl locks himself in his bathroom quite a bit more than you do.
I guess so. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I couldn't tell if the controls were working or not. I was just so, like, what's the word? Like, flabbergasted. I was so, like, I don't know how else to describe it. I was flabbergasted by how weird this whole situation was. I was in a box, milking cows, pretending to milk a cow with a Joy-Con. Like, I couldn't really focus on the game itself, because I was like, what am I actually doing right now? So,
like, you just came from playing some epic adventure game like Breath of the Wild, and you popped over and started milking a fucking cow.
And it was the 1-2 switch were in very specific glass rooms. They were in completely glass rooms. Everything else was out in the open. But no, 1-2 switch, you got to go in the glass room to play. Like it was some sort of special event or something. It was weird. It's gonna be a great drinking game. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I bet. They just wanted
So-
everyone to feel super vulnerable as everyone watches them just thrust their hands up and down.
Actually, I was talking to one of my PR people were there that helped get me into the event. He was saying that in Europe they're actually going to be advertising 1-2 Switch as a party/drinking game, but they're not going to do that in America because they go for a more kid-friendly kind of atmosphere.
Yeah,
So I thought that was really
that
interesting.
doesn't shock me because Europe really isn't that into Nintendo. I mean, so they got to do whatever they can to increase their profit margin and their revenue over there. So,
Exactly.
hey, if they're going to advertise it as a drinking game, okay. I'm not shocked about that at all. I mean, that's probably going to make them some money because those are probably the people who are going to buy it.
It might work. We'll see. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to try the cowboy one. That was there, but we never got around to it. And there was, I think one other 1-2 Switch game, but I don't remember what it was. I think the marble game, where you roll a marble around inside your controller, theoretically. But we just milked some cows, and that was good enough for me.
Yeah, that's a $60 title right there.
All right, what do we got next? I can talk about Sonic Mania, ARMS, or Fast RMX. What do you want to hear?
Fast RMX.
I figured. I think it's supposed to be pronounced Fast Remix, but whatever. So this game, if you liked Fast Racing Neo, you're gonna like Fast RMX. It's basically the same thing with new courses, new cars. It looks a little bit better. It was pretty fun. So if you like Fast
there's
Racing
new courses?
Neo,
There's new courses?
I think so. They looked like new courses.
Holy shit.
I mean, I'm assuming because it's a brand new game that they're new courses.
Oh my god, I thought there was just new cars and it was just a re-release.
Oh
my
really?
God.
I mean, it might don't 100% quote me. It might just be a re-release, but it doesn't look like it to me.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm getting that.
I would look into it first just to make sure it's not just a re-release because I'm not 100% sure.
That may be when I buy my Switch now.
Ooh. The Fast
When is it coming out?
Remix. It is coming out in March.
It's coming out in March?
Yeah.
What? No. I got no money.
Oh no.
Shitting. Damn it.
You can just use one of your strategies to make some money, like you talked about earlier.
Hey, yeah, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Now you're
right.
talking. Let's see here. Hypersonic speed. What is okay? Oh, it's gonna be native 1080p 60. Good. Like to see that.
Yeah, it looked damn gorgeous. Like we played a course where it was raining. Ah, it looks so good.
Oh, there's 5 new vehicles and there's 30 tracks.
Ooh.
Ooh. Holy shit. And there's local 8 player. Oh my god.
Wow,
Dude.
that's cool. I didn't know half of that.
I want to know if the split screen mode is still a locked 60 FPS because that's amazing. Oh, this looks so much better. Oh my god.
Yeah, like it looks like Fast Racing Neo already looked good, but this game, I'm telling you, it was the best looking game there.
Oh my god. Yeah, no kidding. Holy shit. Dude, this is definitely native 1080p. This looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah, like you said, Fast Racing Neo already was gorgeous, but oh my god. Dude, yep. Yeah, that's a buy right there.
Oh yeah, I just sold you on Splatoon and Fast Remix.
We gotta stop this podcast.
BRB gonna go spend all my money.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what else. I mean,
ARMS
you
or
can
Sonic...
breeze past ARMS. I don't really care.
Well, I just want to clarify that from what I played
for the people who are listening, you can talk about it.
So this is gonna be about ARMS. Okay, so I played it for a few minutes, and I really hate to say this, but from what I played, it did not work. The motion controls kind of work. You could weave and move and stuff, but punching didn't feel that accurate. It felt like there was a lot of lag. Now, of course, there could have been interference with all the other Switch consoles. That might have been the problem, but honestly, I think ARMS is going to be a lot better just playing with traditional controls, but that's just my opinion. So that's ARMS. So Sonic Mania?
Yeah, Sonic Mania looks good.
It is, not only does it look good, but the animation is beautiful. Like, even ducking as Sonic, like, there's animation in him just ducking, and it looks really good.
I heard duck, so I'm on board.
That was my goal. Yes, Sonic Mania. I mean, if you love the classic Sonic games, Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, you have to play Sonic Mania. It is, from what I played, basically the same thing. The controls are very tight and precise, just like the classics. You'll be able to play as Tails and Knuckles. Unfortunately, we can only play as Sonic, but there's a new drop dash spin move thingy. It allows you to... It's another way to dash, basically, and it was just really, really neat. I really enjoyed Sonic Mania. And we played that actually with the Joy-Con sideways, and it felt fine because I didn't have to use the shoulder buttons. So I like Sonic Mania. I'm gonna get in that game for sure.
Good, definitely. I planned on getting it for my PS4 when it came out. I did have the collector's edition ordered at one time, but I was like, I don't even get a physical copy in the collector's edition, so I'm just not even gonna get it. Damn it. That's the one major shame about that game is they're not releasing it physically. I guess I don't even know why.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because it's like they're appealing to the old fans. I mean, all of us are going to buy it physically, so I have no idea why they're not releasing it that way, but I mean, whatever. I'm still going to play it because it looks amazing. It looks like a true return to form for the Sonic franchise, which is good.
It is. I'm telling you, man, like Sonic Mania is where it's at. It's the actual Sonic the Hedgehog 4. It's the real one.
Good, because they didn't even make it. They didn't even make Sonic the Hedgehog 4. What are you talking about?
Episode 1, Episode 2. Remember those?
Oh, those don't exist? What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought those okay, I'm just going crazy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was some crappy, just garbage dream that got leaked by David Cage a few years ago.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. Well, let's see. I think now is a hot time to take a break and go to some questions.
Yes. Just to wrap things up, Nintendo did give me a Nintendo Switch cookie, and it was delicious.
Ooh, was it ice? Was it like, did it have icing on it, or was it just one of those like hard, like good sugar cookies?
It was hard, good sugar cookie. It was good. So good. I ate it nice and slow.
So it's like really windy near my house right now, and it keeps I'm down in the basement, and it's blowing down into the chimney, and it scares me every time. I've been playing too much Resident Evil 7. It scares me every single time it happens because it like brushes against like the chimney doors, and I'm like, yeah, we're back. We're back, by the way. That was all recorded.
We were talking about wind scaring Jacob.
Yeah, as you heard. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think I have to mention this just real quick because this had me so excited as someone who was once a young boy. Rocket League is getting Hot Wheels DLC.
Hot damn.
That is amazing. I need this so bad in my life. I haven't spent a dime on Rocket League DLC. I bought the physical copy and I got a bunch of DLC with that. But otherwise, I haven't spent anything on it. I will buy these cars for $2 a piece because I want to play as the Bone Shaker and the Twin Mill. These look incredible. I cannot wait to play as this. And that's all I have to say.
Yes.
I doubt it's going to mix up any of the gameplay, but it just looks cool. And I'm a dirty Rocket League fanboy, so I need this, and I'm going to pay for it, and I'm going to keep causing publishers to charge us for DLC. That's it.
Rocket League's a damn good game, though. So
Rocket League is. I don't really mind paying for anything in that game either because they have provided the public with so much free DLC. I mean, so many new modes, just so many free cars and things that you can get. It's crazy. I mean, they've done a fantastic job, and anything that they release probably from here on out, I'm going to support because they've shown that they are willing to give you your money's worth. And I can't even. Yeah. I've probably gotten hundreds of hours of gameplay out of Rocket League, so yeah, I want to play it now. Well, as far as questions go, now that we're done with the Switch talk and me sounding like a buffoon, Thomas the Tank Engine says, what are your thoughts on Mother 3 coming to the West? Do you think it's going to happen?
I think we answered that last week, but I'm still going to say no.
I want to say yes. I really do, but at the same time, I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be in Nintendo put me in an abusive relationship when it comes to the Mother franchise, and I just want to get out. I'm trying to call the cops and get out of it, but I can't. They've
Oh,
locked me in.
it might happen, but it's still gonna be like 10, 20 years. Wait, I'm sorry, 50 years before it happens. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know.
So we won't even care in 50 years when it happens.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you might still care, but you know.
And I don't remember if we answered this or not. Did we answer are there any games or movies that you loved as a kid but you now think are terrible? Did we answer that?
We have not answered that.
That's an interesting question. I want to talk about that.
Okay. Let me think about that one for a minute.
I'm pretty sure I know your answer.
I need to think about it for a minute, actually, so you can go ahead.
I'm not sure if I really have any. Are there any games or movies I think I loved as a kid, but you know... Oh, God, movies, yes. The Scooby-Doo 1 and 2 movies. Awful. Those movies are terrible.
Yeah, I'd probably
they're kind of like cringy in a good way, but
yeah,
as like pure quality films, they're not good. They're
no.
not good.
As films, they're really, really bad.
Yeah, and the CGI Scooby-Doo still haunts me to this day. It's not good.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I used to like Spy Kids 3D when I was a kid. I haven't watched that in a while, but I know it is a piece of shit movie, so it's bad. That's gonna be my pick. You okay?
Sorry.
You all right? Need some water?
So bad. Oh man. See, games. I can't think of too many. I feel like I've always been able to distinguish like, is this a shit game or not? But like movies, I don't know why. I feel like when I was a kid, there was a lot of animated stuff. I was just like, yeah, that looks fun. And then now I want to harm someone if I have to watch it.
But I do have to say, I remember seeing a lot of trailers for licensed movie games, and I always thought, man, those look like so much fun. And then whenever I got my hands on them, they were always like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I would definitely say, yeah. Like, there's a lot of Shrek games out there that never should have released. And then there's some SpongeBob games that also never should have released. Except for the Battle for Bikini Bottom. That one was rad. Yeah, and we talked about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you're not nearly as picky with your game. Unless it's like absolute negative 1,000% trash.
Oh, I got one.
What's that?
Wave Race Blue Storm is a pile of shit.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
Pile of dung.
Mm-hmm.
That is Wave Race Blue Storm. When I was a kid, I thought it was cool because it was just better graphics, and I thought it was like different gameplay than Wave Race 64. It was extreme and bleh. And then now you play it and you're like, this is unplayable and it's a piece of ass.
Yep.
And that's probably why they haven't made one since. So
I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to like...
That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to all the N64 games that I played, and I really didn't have like bad ones. I had Mario Kart 64. I know you don't like that one, but it's not like a terrible game.
No, that game's not terrible. I personally just don't enjoy it that much, but it's not. I can recognize it's not a bad game.
You're right. I had Mario 64. I had the Mario Party games. I had Pokemon Puzzle League. I had Pokemon Stadium.
All good.
Yeah, like
all
I
good
didn't
games.
have
There's
bad
that wind again.
N64 game. What's that?
That goddamn wind.
Oh.
I definitely feel like there's a ton of. I feel like there's a lot of bad N64 games, but there's a lot of good N64 games too.
There's more bad than good ones. I can say that much. But I didn't have those when I didn't have the bad ones when I was a kid. Not that I can remember anyway. Oh, actually, I got one. Okay, so my sister owned one game on the N64. It was called Powerpuff Girls Extreme Factor. It's like this weird.
It sounds so bad.
Game. It's some weird fighting game, and me and my sister loved it. We were like, "Oh, this is the coolest game ever!" Going around playing as Blossom and Bubbles and stuff, just like beating each other up. And I played it a few years ago, and I was like, "Wow, this game sucks. It doesn't work. It's not responsive. It's just bad."
Yeah. Oh, I got one. Yeah, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for the SNES. That game is crap. It is. It's just not good. I'm sorry if you like it. If anyone out there likes it, it's not a good game.
There you go.
It is just a dumbed down, simplistic, stupid version of Final Fantasy. It feels like what Square Enix thought a mobile game was 20 years ago. It was complete dick. Yeah. I can't think of any more. That's pretty much it. And then
Yeah,
obviously the
that's all I
thousands
got.
of licensed games that came out.
Yeah, of course.
Those were all terrible. Oh my god. Oh, that wind. Okay. Well, next question. Have you guys played any of the Uncharted games? If so, do you like them? And
I have
don't know
played
if you
about
have.
an hour of the first one. Yeah, I played like an hour of the first one, and that's it. What I'm gonna do is when I finally get a PS4, which I think is this year, I'm gonna get the Uncharted Drake's Collection and just plow through all 4 of them at once. So I really want to play them. I just haven't had the time to do so.
Yeah, I absolutely adore the franchise. I'm a huge fan of Indiana Jones and like Lara Croft. So that naturally going into that, I was like, yep, this is for me, and I know it's for me. And I can recognize that there's a lot of like scripted kind of cinematic gameplay, and some people don't like that. But there's a lot of good gameplay, like a lot of good third-person shooting, a lot of exploring. I like all that stuff. I love the story of it is amazing. That's probably the one franchise I would look at and be like, you need to be a movie, and you need to be a movie now. But unfortunately, it hasn't been. And I will say the first one kind of feels dated. Like, it kind of feels like the beginning of the PlayStation 3 era type of design where things were a little more linear, and they forced, like, the gyro controls when you're trying to balance, like, on a rope and just crap like that.
Right.
But
yeah.
the second and third one improve on it a lot. Those 2 games are phenomenal. The first one is still good, but it does have some of those dated concepts, but they have updated it in the Nathan Drake collection, so that's definitely the way to go. And then they look incredible. They still look amazing, even on the PlayStation 3, but they look even better on the PlayStation 4. So
Yeah,
if you can't tell, I like Uncharted.
Yeah.
I like Uncharted a lot. And I still haven't played the 4th one. I don't even know why.
Really?
Still
Wow.
haven't played it yet. Yeah, I've had a PS4 for months now, and I still haven't played it, but I've been busy playing other stuff, but I will get around to it. I'm kind of waiting till the summer because, like, for some reason, I just kind of have this, like, tradition where every summer I, like, play through an Uncharted game. So I'm probably going to do that.
There you go.
And I'm going to save this question for Scott. It's about how much money you're going to be spending on the Switch.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Oh,
He needs to be here for that, so you can hear about him breaking $1,000 probably. Would you rather have to play Wii shovelware games for the rest of your life, or only be able to eat at Papa John's?
Papa John's. Papa's in the house all day, every day.
Yeah, I don't want Papa in my house all the time, but damn, I do not want to play Wii shovelware shit for the rest of my life. Oh my god.
Jeez. Papa John. I think Scott was supposed to be here for that question, but I will still take it. Give me the Papa.
Oh. Yeah, give me the Papa. Give me plastic Papa in my house.
Oh yeah.
I will say their thin crust, not bad. Not bad at all. Their thick crust, I'm not crazy about. But they are still one of the only major pizza chains that actually do give you pepperoncini with your pizza. And I'm
a free garlic cup.
those. Yes, and free garlic butter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give them credit on that. And their thin crust ain't bad. So,
yep.
Yeah, Papa's not a bad guy. But
he's
his pizza
in the
could
house,
be better.
man.
In my opinion, his pizza could be better. But he's not a bad dude. And I think that about wraps it up for this week.
Awesome. Perfect. That's the best way to wrap it up.
That's the best way to end it. Well, that was a great cast. I'm glad that you were able to get your hands on a Switch and tell me about it so I can sit here and just wonder what it's like to hold one until I get one.
It was a very surreal experience. I mean, I remember first holding one. It took me about an hour before I realized, holy crap, I'm playing the Nintendo Switch early. I can't believe this.
Yeah, and you were considered
really cool.
like media press. That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Which
cool.
that was hilarious because since like everyone's already covered it, there were only 4 people for media, and all of them were just YouTubers. So that was really funny.
That's cool. Well, cool. Yeah, I'm glad Nintendo gave you that chance. And
yep. Thank you, Nintendo.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I know they're listening to this.
I'm gonna send this to them.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Reggie would be a diehard Digicaster from now on. That'd be amazing. Let's just bother them for the next like 4 months to see if we can get Reggie on the cast.
I wonder if Reggie likes Papa John's.
Oh,
if
if
he
Reggie
does,
likes Papa John's.
If he likes Papa John's, we're officially bros. That's all I gotta say.
Reggie, is Papa in your house? Because why the hell not? And with that, I would like to say, Nathaniel, tell the people where you come from if this is the first time they've heard your voice on the Digicast.
Hi, you can find me by looking up my name, Nathaniel Bandy, on YouTube. I make Nintendo videos, a lot about the Switch recently. I do top 10s, I do these little triggered videos. Hard to describe, you just kind of have to click on the video to watch, which is what I'm trying to get you to do. So consider doing that if you want, okay? Okay.
Yeah, help him out on his road to 100K because YouTube isn't helping him out at all.
Well, God. Okay, I have to say this real quick before we end. The goddamn the goddamn sub count glitches this week have been absurd. I went from losing 2,000 subs to gaining 3,000 to losing 1,000, all in the span of like 0 time. Like, what the hell is going on, YouTube? Fix your shit. All right, my rant is over. That's all I had to say.
Okay. And if you want to find me, you can catch me right here on the Digicast. And I also do Indie Jacob, which now I will go ahead and announce this, even though this is like the end of the video, and I think I tweeted about this a couple days ago. We are just going to be keeping these to every other week now. I'm noticing that I'm really not having a lot of time to work on Indie Jacob videos, which that's what I want to do. I mean, I want to do this too. Obviously, I'm still doing it. But I do want to have more time to make Indie Jacob videos. So, and it also will help out for those weeks where we're like, oh, we don't really have anything to say. Let's talk about Papa John's and dick for the next 10 minutes. So, yeah. So, yeah, well, the flow of news will be better. And I'll have a little more time to put into the Indie Jacob series, which I do have like 3 videos lined up to make. One I'm probably just going to crank out here in the next couple days because I don't really need to do a lot of prep for that. Have a Resident Evil 7 video in the works, maybe doing a Final Fantasy 15, have a Star Fox video in the works, so a lot of good stuff happening. So yeah, share the channel, go look up Nathaniel's channel, go check out Scott's website, Eliga Corp something.
.com.
Look up Eliga Corporation and you'll find him. I don't remember the name of his website though. Is it just eligacorp.com? Oh, I'm so sorry, Scott, if you're listening. I'm so sorry, Scott.
Oh, so ashamed of you.
I'm gonna get this. Yes, it is eligacorp.com. Boom.
Boom, we got it. So go there. We're in the last 20 seconds of the video, okay? So make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, comment, rate 5 stars out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. That's what we are.
No. 7 out of 10 at least, please.